Who else in my Marvel Legends collection can wield the Infinity Gauntlet? Today we're looking at the cosmic powerhouse who's worthy, Adam Warlock. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to another detailed action figure review. Today we're diving into the brand new Hasbro Marvel Legends Adam Warlock from the 6-inch scale Comic Book Accessory Wave. Let's get into the details. Now, if you've seen my previous reviews, like the Retro Quicksilver, you know I've had issues with factory paint defects. Sadly, Adam Warlock is no exception. There's a noticeable black paint blemish that's not on the surface, it's actually inside the plastic itself. It's disappointing, but I can at least hide it with the cape's collar. The figure only comes with one head sculpt, so I have no choice but to stick to this defective one for my display. But to Hasbro's credit, they nailed the paint choices. His hair features a lemon yellow base with a mocha brown paint wash that brings out the sculpt beautifully. His skin tone is vibrant orange yellow with paint wash in the sculpted skin lines that gives it a texture comic accurate look. His eyes are completely white, surrounded by a subtle black wash, almost otherworldly stare. The lips are painted in a soft red that doesn't go overboard. Thankfully, he doesn't look like he's wearing lipstick. The teeth are individually sculpted, which is a small but awesome detail. Now let's talk about the body sculpt. This is another perfect reuse of the Vulcan body mold. Hasbro applied minimal paint, relying only on molded plastic. The torso is black and the arms and legs are red plastic. Just above the boots, there's a black paint to simulate the top of his high boots. Though they aren't sculpted, kind of a shortcut, but it works for display. His cape with a bold red outer layer and a yellow inner lining. The collar is painted cleanly and the skull's centerpiece at the neck is sharp and detailed, a nice touch. Remove the cape and you'll spot something cool. This is the modified Vulcan body mold specifically designed for caped figures. The peg hole on the back lines up with what we saw on the X-Men 97 Magneto figure. It is not obvious because Magneto's arms are different. If we remove Magneto's head and remove his cape, the shape and muscular definition of his upper torso is the same as Adam Warlock, especially the neckline. From the back, you can see it's the same peg hole, positioned slightly closer to the neck, unlike older Marvel Legends wherein this peg hole would be in the middle of the upper torso. Just to prove my point, let's try out Magneto's cape. The peg would line up okay with the hole. The same applies when you use Adam Warlock's cape on Magneto. Unfortunately, because of Magneto's hair and the collar of Adam Warlock's cape, you cannot plug it in. Just like any other figure that uses the Vulcan arms, there would be a glove cut right there. Even if the gloves are longer, later I will show you this actually matters in the Kitbash. Starting off the accessory count, he comes with a pair of closed fist hands all in red plastic. These hands can hinge forward and back. Not a pair, he comes with one right trigger finger hand and one object holding left hand. The left hand can hinge up and down. Same is true for the trigger finger hand, which can hinge up and down as well. They are all red plastic, and these are the hands that you will use in order to hold the other accessories he comes with. The first accessory to try out is a wooden looking bow staff with a sculpted eagle statue on top. The eagle is not an exact design match with the Infinity Gauntlet comics, but it looks better. Hasbro added a swivel for the eagle, which I'm not sure what it is for. The bow staff is thicker from the eagle, but going down it becomes thinner. Any of the hands can hold on to it. Using the trigger figure hand, it gives a stylized way of holding it when it's tilted to one direction, which is forward. Nicely sculpted wooden details on the bow staff. The next accessory that the hands can hold on to is the 6-inch scale plastic comic book with a cover of Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Compared to the other figures from this wave that I reviewed, the cover is nicely painted with a lot of details and colors. The trigger finger hand can hold on to it with a stylized way, wherein it seems that Adam Warlock is about to start reading the Infinity Gauntlet comic book. Let me know in the comments below, in this comic book accessory wave, is this the best looking comic book cover? As an X-Men fan, I'm biased that I like the giant size X-Men number 1 better, but Hasbro really did a good job of printing the Infinity Gauntlet number 1 cover on this plastic accessory. The plastic comic book accessory is the gimmick of this wave, but one thing that I really like is this accessory of Adam Warlock, which is the Infinity Gauntlet. It comes in 2 pieces, the wrist part of the gauntlet and the fist, which is a closed fist hand. Plug it in, and this hand functions the same way as a closed fist. The hand can hinge forward and back. The position and color of the Infinity Stone matches the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos is wearing in issue number 1. In the comments below, let me know which accessory are you looking forward to. Is it the plastic comic book accessory or the Infinity Gauntlet? If you found this review useful, please give this review a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures in this review might still be available, I left some links in the description below. Hope you stick around for the second part. I will perform several Kitbash.
I'm Tuggernaut!
Who else is worthy to wield the Infinity Gauntlet? Let's find out. Since Adam Warlock is in the Vulcan body mold, any figure that is in the Vulcan body mold which does not have any sculpted gloves can use the Infinity Gauntlet. For example, this is X-Men 97 Magneto, and he can wield the Infinity Gauntlet with ease. Sticking with the X-Men 97 team, another X-Men 97 character which is in the Vulcan body mold is the brother of Vulcan, Cyclops. The arms of Cyclops is exactly the same as Adam Warlock, with those glove cuts sculpted on. Known for his leadership power, with the Infinity Gauntlet, Cyclops has now absolute cosmic power and leadership. One X-Men 97 character that cannot wield the Infinity Gauntlet is Wolverine. It is because his forearm is different, it's thicker compared to the Vulcan body mold. The forearm piece of the gloves won't fit in. You can attach the fist without the forearm piece, but it won't look good. One way to work around this is to use a blue tack. This would lengthen his forearm so you can plug in the Infinity Gauntlet fist. It looks alright from this type of position. The problem is, because of the blue tack, his forearm became longer. If you bring down his arm and align it with the other arm in parallel, you would notice that the other arm with the Infinity Gauntlet is longer. If you want a Wolverine to wield the Infinity Gauntlet without using any sticky tack or blue tack, it would be Daken, because he is in the Vulcan body mold, so there is no problem with using the Infinity Gauntlet. It perfectly aligns with his other arms. If you really want Logan to wield the Infinity Gauntlet, you can use Hugh Jackman MCU Wolverine. The length and thickness of his forearm is just right for the Infinity Gauntlet. Let me know in the comments below, will you use the Infinity Gauntlet for the MCU Wolverine? Another guy that can use the Infinity Gauntlet is his partner, Deadpool. So here is Deadpool, he can hinge forward and back, so it fits alright with his forearm as well. The Infinity Gauntlet can grant any wish that Deadpool has. He'd probably use the Infinity Gauntlet just to make the X-Force ladies fall head over heels for him. Classic Wade Wilson. Going back to comic-based characters, we have Quasar and Sabu. Quasar is on the Vulcan body mold, so no problems again using or wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. A character in his Savage Land outfit is Professor X, which I reviewed recently, and luckily, despite of his rolled up sleeves, you can use the Infinity Gauntlet. It still fits in just right. The end of the Infinity Gauntlet gloves just meets the end of his rolled up sleeves. It seems any version of Spider-Man can wield the Infinity Gauntlet. Here is the smaller size Spider-Man, the Secret Wars Spider-Man. Trying out the Infinity Gauntlet with the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, it fits just right. You know it's a perfect fit if the hands can hinge forward and back. This means the closed fist hand is plugged in tight to the wrist. How about one of the bad guys wielding the Infinity Gauntlet? Here we have Carnage. It's not a perfect fit because he cannot hinge the hand forward and back. It seems to work for male Marvel Legends figures. The problem with the Infinity Gauntlet is it will not fit in for female figures. For example, Jean Grey Phoenix. The peg hole for female wrist is really small, so you cannot use a male closed fist hand. You'll have to use sticky tack or blue tack just in order for a female action figure to wield the Infinity Gauntlet. Of course, the forearm will be longer, but when you do a similar pose like this, it won't be noticeable. Saving the best for last. From the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman in his yellow tiger stripe costume wielding the Infinity Gauntlet with the claws out in homage to the Infinity Watch comic books. Did you find the Kitbash useful? Hope you give this review a like. Now moving on to the size comparisons. The new Hasbro Marvel Legends Adam Warlock action figure stands approximately 16.2 centimeters or 6.4 inches tall. According to Marvel.com and the Impulse trading card, Adam Warlock stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, making this figure's height alright for a 6-inch scale. Starting the 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legends size comparison with figures I recently reviewed, also wielding their own 6-inch scale comic book accessory, Ultimate Miles Morales, and giant-size X-Men Banshee. Beside a teenage female Marvel Legends body mold, Walgreens exclusive Magik, and buzzworthy Marvel Rivals character Emma Frost in her black costume. For a short male Marvel Legends Extreme X-Men Wolverine and his son Dark Avenger Staken, who is in the new regular size male Vulcan body mold. Don't miss those reviews for more insight. Celebrating 85th anniversary of Marvel, we have Warbird and Moonstone as Dark Avengers Miss Marvel. Rising out of his hover chair and on his way to the Savage Land, the Target exclusive Professor X and another animated series character, X-Men 97 Rogue. Recently reviewed MCU figures from the Spider-Man No Way Home movie Electro and from Captain America Brave New World movie Red Hulk. The very first superposable Pinoy action figure in history, Loose Collectors, and Halimaw Sculptures, Darna, Philippines version of Wonder Woman, and the most viewed review in my YouTube history, Boss Fight Studio Epic Hacks Red Sonja. Gorgeous and Deadly Ladies by the partnership of Executive Replicas and Loose Collector, Coffin Comics La Muerta, and Crusade Comics She. 6-inch scale Jada Toy Street Fighters, Cammy White, and the SDCC exclusive Chun-Li Pink version. After the ladies are the men of Jada Toy Street Fighters, Ken and Guile. 1/12 scale size comparison, the Medicom Toy Mafex brown costume Wolverine, alongside the street-level MCU hero Daredevil. The Medicom Toy Mafex Jean Grey as Phoenix, and X-Men Blue Strike Force team member Psylocke. 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale size comparison, beginning with 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Rogue from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave, and the 7-inch scale Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Rogue. 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Sabretooth from the Celebrating 50 Years of Wolverine 2-pack, and the 7-inch scale Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Sabretooth. Hasbro Celebrating 80 Years of Marvel Hulk, and the 7-inch scale Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Immortal Hulk or the Rampaging Hulk. For packaging, Infinity Gauntlet Adam Warlock comes in the brand new retro-styled cardback packaging designed to look like a comic book. Right at the top, you got the classic comic book corner box featuring a product header of Adam Warlock wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. It even says issue number 1, which is a nod to the Infinity Gauntlet number 1 comic book published back in July 1991. Front and center is the comic book inspired title with a splash of a comic book style artwork in blue tones on the side from a panel in Infinity Gauntlet number 2. Behind the figure is the cover art of Infinity Gauntlet number 3. On the back, you'll find renders of the entire wave of figures included in this line, each with their own comic book themed plastic accessory. Infinity Gauntlet number 1 comic cover is highlighted in a larger display, making it stand out. There's also a short character bio or read-up in 5 different languages. Feel free to pause the video if you want to have a read through that. And of course, you got the usual legal disclaimers, safety warnings, and a barcode info at the bottom. Articulation, his head can move from side to side with some hindrance from his collar. He cannot look up that much because of his hair. He can look down. His arms can extend that far. With the butterfly joint, he can move that far, but the hindrance with the cape can move forward like that. His arms can do a full 360 with some hindrance from the cape. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, wrist can swivel and hinge forward and back for a closed fist hands. He has a ab crunch, can crunch forward that much, crunch backward that far. You can see the inside of his upper torso, waist swivel right here. He can do a split. He has a upper thigh swivel right here. Double jointed pinless knees, can kick far back and kick his butt. He can kick forward. He has a lower calf swivel. Feet can hinge forward and back and has an ankle rocker. My final thoughts on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Adam Warlock from the 2025 6-inch scale plastic comic book accessory wave. So is Adam Warlock worthy of wielding the Infinity Gauntlet on your Marvel Legends shelf? Honestly, yes. Faint defect aside, and that may just be a QC issue with mine, the sculpt and paint apps are on point. If you're building out a cosmic Marvel lineup, this figure definitely earns a spot. Now, I've been critical of the Vulcan body reuse in the past, like with giant size X-Men Banshee, where it felt a little lazy. But with Adam Warlock, it works. His classic look is pretty much streamlined, so the lack of sculpted detail on the costume isn't a huge deal. Would it be nice to see sculpted gloves and boots? Sure, but honestly, I'm satisfied with what we got. Would I recommend this figure? Absolutely, especially if you're a fan of Cosmic Marvel, the Infinity Gauntlet saga, or just want a solid addition to your 90s inspired Marvel Legends lineup. Even if you're more of a casual collector, Adam Warlock is one of those characters with a deep comic book history, and the Infinity Gauntlet has big screen relevance thanks to the MCU. I reviewed a ton of Marvel Legends figures over the years, from classic X-Men to deep cuts in Cosmic Marvel, and if you want to check out those, I made a playlist right here on the top corner of your screen. Hope you check it out. Are you happy with the quality and content of this figure review? If this review helped you out, leave a like, drop a comment, and share it with your fellow collectors. That really helps the channel grow and tells YouTube it's worth promoting. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.